Now that we're done lining up the back of the ear, we're going to use our Goat FX to create our first guideline. Be sure not to press too hard because you don't want to make a super harsh guideline when your first attempt. Now that we're done budding them out with our Goat FX, we're going to switch over to our shaver and make sure everything's nice and bald, removing the stubble. Moving on to our no guard all the way open, we're going to create our second guideline. It's going to be about 1 inch to 1/2 inch thick. Be sure to use your lever midway and all the way close to help you remove that initial guideline you created with your Goat FX. Once we're done blending out our initial guideline, we're going to move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Once you're done softening up the line with the 1 guard all the way closed and midway, you could then switch over to your 1/2 guard to erase it completely. Again, now that we're done with our lower guards, we're going to switch over to our 2 guard all the way open and prepare for the 1.5 guard. Once we're done blending out the 2 guard, we're going to then move on to our 3 guard all the way open and flick out as much as possible. We're using the corners and half the blade, so make sure not to use the full blade because you could mess up the side taper. It's always good to go back in detail just to make sure everything's nice and crispy. Again, it's always best to detail, so I'm going back with my 1 guard all the way open using the corners. Moving on to his beard, we're going to then use our no guard all the way open to create our first guideline, and where it's pretty much a blend but reversed. Always be sure to stretch the skin with your finger. Now that we're done with our no guard all the way open and closed, we're going to switch over to our 1 guard all the way open and flick out as much as possible and go with the grain. We're going to use a 7 guard on the beard just to clean it up and get the frizzly hairs out the way. Using our Andes T outliners, we're going to then line up the bottom of the beard and make sure we start off at the middle, working our way to the sides. You also want to make sure you're not pressing too hard in this area because usually the skin's a little softer and you could bite them with the teeth of the trimmers. Moving on to the front line, we're going to spray some hairspray to get the lining a little bit crispier and sharper to the touch. I usually start off on the middle and work my way to the sides. It's always easier for me that way. Always be sure to keep the corners natural, and especially the side area. Again, we're starting off at the middle and working our way to the sides. Now that we're done with the lineup, we're going to lay our client down and put some shave gel in the areas I'm going to use the razor. This is so that the razor could glide better and he doesn't feel pain. When using the razor, you always want to keep it at a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible. This is the finished product, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the cut. Like, comment, subscribe. Love y'all.